Next year in Milan Cortina, we are excited to see the debut of ski mountaineering. It's the first time since 2002 that the Winter Olympics have introduced a completely brand new sport, and the first time since 1998 that a sport has never been seen before at the Winter Olympics in any capacity. Since we saw snowboarding debut, that we haven't had it as a demonstration sport or anything like that in the past. And I'm so excited today to not only learn more about the sport, but to speak to one of the best athletes in the world in ski mountaineering. I'm talking about a world championship medalist, currently ranked firmly in the top 10. He's got his ticket booked to the Olympics next year, and I'm so pumped to excited to learn more about him, the sport, and everything else in between. Welcome to Off the Podium, Maximilien Drion. Max, welcome to Off the Podium.
Hi, Ben. Thank you a lot for inviting me, and I'm very excited to have my sport at the Olympics next winter.
I'm very excited to see it and have it there and learn about it, because we've been talking about this sport, I feel now, on this show for a good 5 years since the IOC announced this as being a sport. And being Australian, Max, we obviously don't really do a lot of things to do with winter sports. So when we hear about a sport like ski mountaineering, we're like, well, what is that? We have no idea what it is. And I am intrigued to find out from a man involved in it exactly what ski mountaineering is. So if somebody came up to you on the street and was like, Max, tell me what ski mountaineering is. What is the easiest way to describe your sport?
I would start by saying, most people know about alpine skiing, so downhill skiing. Mm-hmm. So that's part of our sport as well. But in our sport, we go up the ski slopes or the mountains as well. We don't use the ski lifts or the chairlifts. We rely on our own power to go up the slope. So for that, we have skins that allow us to glide up, but prevent us from gliding back. And so we go up the ski slopes with these skins under our skis. And when we reach the top, we take off our skins and ski like we would do on an alpine ski slope.
Basically the only form of skiing that you kind of have to ski uphill, essentially. I mean, I know kind of in like cross country and biathlon there are uphill sections, but I mean, you are literally going up a mountain, are you not, before you go down?
Yeah, I would say it can also be considered as summer version of trail running. So basically in summer and winter I train at the same places. It's just that in winter with my trail running shoes it's good enough, and in summer I need skis and all the gear to travel safely and efficiently. So I go up in the mountains in summer and same in winter.
Is this a sport that many people start out in purely as a ski mountaineer, or is it a sport that you find a lot of people transition into it from other sports? Maybe this is something they're not familiar with and they want to give it a go because their previous sport helps them, I guess, in skimo.
I would say you have a bit of both. You have pure ski mountaineering athletes that are born with that sport and are growing with that sport and are competing at the highest level. You also have some athletes coming from other sports, cycling, running, quickly transitioning to that sport and being very quickly performing. And then you also have ski mountaineering specialists transitioning to other sports. We have, for example, Anton Palzer, a cyclist for Bora Hansgrohe, who was this world champion and then got a contract to become a pro cyclist. So wow. We have a bit of everything. But I would say it's often a sport that people do in winter because they cannot run or cannot cycle, and that they use to build a good base for their main season, that is maybe cycling or running.
And it's a fairly new sport too, right? This has only sort of been, I guess, recognized with an international federation, I believe, 2016. So I mean, this is like 10 years old in terms of that. I mean, it's obviously been going longer than that, but it's a fairly new sport overall, not just obviously for the Olympics. We're about to see it join them next year.
I have to disagree with you. I think it's the oldest winter sport that exists. I think at the beginning it was just a way of transportation, of moving across the mountains between remote villages. So I think it's one of the oldest sports that exists in winter, even if then it was not considered as a sport, but just as a way to travel across the mountains and winter landscapes. But it's only recently, I think in the 1780s that some competition started to appear, and we have a circuit since the late 90s where all the best athletes compete together.
Basically one of those ones where like it's been around for so long that somebody was just like, oh, maybe we can make this fun rather than just making this like a way of life, and that maybe we could give out medals and have world champions and things like this eventually at it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's most of the case for most of the sports. Beginning, it starts as a hobby, as a as a funny game, and then it becomes a sport. I don't have examples like that in mind, but I imagine you may have some ideas.
There's plenty. I think we can correlate all of these ones into other bits and pieces. I mean, literally the one that I feel your sport can draw a lot of comparisons to is we obviously just saw sport climbing in the Summer Olympics, and that's sort of one of these sports where like it's more like a hobby. You think rock climbing, it's just let's go to the gym and whatever, but then obviously there are competitive formats of it, and there were some other questions I'll relate later on to sort of that and the disciplines and everything along those lines a little bit later. But how do you then get involved in this, Max? Is this something that when you were growing up, you saw it and you wanted to do it, or did you transition from another sport before you got into skimo?
I compete for Belgium, and if you've been to Belgium or if you know a little bit of Belgium, you know it's not known for its mountains. Belgium is quite flat. You have some hilly, some hills, but nothing you can really ski on. And so my family decided to move to Switzerland when I was 10 years old. And that's where I discovered ski mountaineering, trail running, all the mountain sports actually. And thanks to a local alpine ski club, I got the opportunity to test ski mountaineering. And I fell in love with the sport and the effort, the freedom you experience when you do it, because you are out of the ski slopes in the middle of nowhere, making your own track. And it's really something you don't have in a lot of sport, I would say. That really freedom that you experience. And so it's, I would say, firstly, thanks to my parents, I decided to change their way of life to move to the mountains. And then thanks to the local community here that got me to test this sport and supported me at my beginnings.
That is a big change to go from a very flat country to one of the most mountainous countries in the world. I mean, had you skied of any capacity in Belgium? Like, had you gone on like a family vacation or something before you moved to Switzerland at all?
Yes, of course. When I think Belgian people are big mountains lover. They don't have mountains, but they love to go to the mountains. So since I was 5 years old, I've been going to the mountains for holidays at every opportunity. I was skiing already 4 or 5 weeks per year when I was living in Belgium. And so when I moved to Switzerland, I was not a beginner in alpine skiing, but I was far from the level of the Swiss young skiers, and so I had to catch up with them. And now I consider myself as one of the best also downhill skiers in ski mountaineering.
In terms of those combinations, I mean, is it say like a triathlon? I'm thinking where obviously it combines multiple sports, and the key is maybe you're slightly better at bike riding in triathlon, but you obviously still got to balance it out with being decent at swimming and running as well. Is that the case in skimo, that maybe you're really good at the downhill, but obviously you've still got to balance that out with the beginning part as well? Or is it just really a case of you can be a specialist in one and sort of the other bit will just kind of balance out essentially because you're so good at one, if that makes sense?
Yeah, we kind of have that. In ski mountaineering, we have different disciplines. At the Olympics, we'll have the sprint race, which is the shortest format we have. And then we have longer races as well, and we can see some athletes specializing in longer races or uphill races or sprint races. So we have, I would say, races for every type of athletes, sprinters or endurance athletes. We have races that last even up to 4 days.
Wow.
Pyramenta is one of the most famous races, which is 4 days of we call it the Tour de France of ski mountaineering, because they're fun, and we have 4 consecutive days of racing. And then we have the World Cup circuit where it's shorter formats, up to 1 hour and a half of racing, and with up and downs, or also, as I said, sometimes only uphill. So yes, at least we're not very good in downhill. Sometimes perform very well in these vertical races.
I was going to say, so that's the vertical discipline, because
Yes.
looking at sort of the results and sort of where you've placed in previous ones as well, you've obviously gotten silver medal in world championships in the vertical. We don't have that discipline though at the Olympics though, but it's obviously there are the variety of events in the sport that we aren't necessarily going to see at the Olympics next year.
Yes, exactly. Like in many sports, in cycling, you have the time trial, you have the mountain stages, you have flat stages, bunch sprints. So we have also all these kinds of different races. But yeah, the Olympics decided only to add the sprint, which is sad because it's maybe not the race that represents our sport the best, because our sport is about going into the mountains, doing long traverse, or reaching summits, and the sprint is more a TV show than what our sport is about. But we hope it's just a starting point for our sport at the Olympics. That in 2013 in the French Alps, we will have longer races as well.
That's where I was going to draw it to the comparisons with sport climbing, because we saw in Tokyo that they had purely a combined event, and there are obviously three very distinct disciplines in sport climbing. They obviously then separated it in Paris, and we are going to see in LA all three of those individual disciplines being medal events. So I was going to ask, is the hope that this is sort of almost like a test run? Let's see how this goes, and that at the French Alps and then maybe Salt Lake, we expand it into the multiple disciplines as you're mentioning.
Yeah, that's absolutely the hope we have, and what our federation is fighting for. Because we are very happy to be at the Olympics. For me, it's changed a lot of things in terms of financial support and equipment and many things. But yeah, we hope really what our sport is about will join the Olympics as soon as possible.
How does that change a perspective for you from an athlete, that when the IOC announced that this is now an Olympic sport, like, does that all of a sudden set off bells in your head? Like, wow, I can become an Olympian. Maybe you had a childhood dream of being an Olympian, but you're in a sport that's not an Olympic sport. I mean, what does that change for you mentally, that now I can become an Olympian if I keep going in this sport?
Yeah, exactly. I never really had that dream of being an Olympian one day, because my sport wasn't at the Olympics. It's only starting in 2021 that the IOC announced that Skimo would join the Olympics, that I decided, maybe I will become an Olympian. And then it's only then that it became a dream for me to be at the Olympics. And I would say I would combine this announcement with also my first World Cup victory, my only one also so far, that I had in 2021. So this victory plus the IOC announcement combined made me believe that, I was legitimate to pursue a sports career as a job, not only as a hobby, and that I wanted to perform at the Olympics as well, not only just take part to it, but fight for the medals, hopefully. And it's only from 21 that I really started to think a lot about it, and became excited about going to the Olympics.
And as you mentioned before, things like funding, but just the attention, the eyes. I mean, you've got an Australian podcast wanting to speak to you now, Max, about this sport. I mean, it's drawing that attention to something that you've obviously been doing for quite some time. Is that something then that brings in a lot more athletes? Are you finding a lot more, say, younger people contacting you, getting advice? How do I get involved in this sport? What can I do to become a ski mountaineer?
Yeah, you have that. You have that comes thanks to more media presence. In Belgium, when you are a contendant, I would say, for medals at the Olympics, you get a lot of coverage, or at least more than what I had before, and of course that helps you grow your, I would say, fan base on social media, and you have more and more people following you and contacting you. I also launched a YouTube channel where I introduce people to my sport and to the insides of professional ski mountaineering competitions and preparation. And yeah, so it's really exciting to see more people wanting to know about my sport, curious, excited to try it, loving it. And yeah, of course, I would not have been on an Australian podcast if I wouldn't. Yeah, if skimo wasn't joining the Olympics.
Not something
And
you've many,
to add
many
also,
messages, I'm sure, from Australians. Hey, come on this show to talk about your sport.
you will have Australians at the Olympics for ski mountaineering because you have the universality quota.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks to Australia being in Oceania, you will have at least one man and one woman competing in the Olympic races in skimo.
Which
So
I was
exciting
looking into this. I was actually. It's funny you say that because we're sort of. I said to you off air, we've reached out to a few guests to try and get on the show. We've obviously reached out from the very top and sort of reaching down because I was looking for Aussies. This is the funniest thing that you say that because I'm like, surely Australians are out there. And I know there's one, for example, Phil Bellingham, who's a cross country skier, triple Olympian, and
Exactly.
he's made the switch over to skimo. I didn't even realize that he had made that switch. So. Yeah, it's good to see that we're punching above our weight still, as we always do in winter sports in this country.
Yeah, Philippe still competes on both circuits. He jumps from
wow.
Yeah, so his winter are really packed. So he focuses only on the sprint and Olympic formats in skimo, not all the races.
Wow.
But yeah, he jumps from cross country to skimo quite easily, and it's very impressive.
Do you find that when it say comes to countries like Australia and say other non-traditional skiing nations, let's just say that, coming from Belgium, which again European, obviously they're skiing, but not considered the Frances, the Italys, the Austrias, that you can kind of bond a little bit more with a country like Australia or some of these other ones where maybe it's sort of, you're on the same level, like, hey, we're not those skiing countries, let's be friends.
Yeah, absolutely. In skimo, we all have a really sense of community. We all love the same thing. We travel almost all the winter together. We compete on the same races. There's really a circuit where everybody competes. Yeah, on which everybody competes. So as a small nation, because I'm the only one competing for Belgium, I tend to spend a lot of time with other athletes because I don't want to be alone all the time. So I've been training with athletes from almost every country, or talking with them or interacting with them.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's really nice to see more and more countries coming on the circuit, because I would say no more than 5 years ago there was only maybe 10 or 15 nations. Now we are close to 30 on some events. So it's nice to see the sport grow and see that there's a big boom around that sport.
That's what we want to see with any sport out there, particularly sort of with these new ones, obviously, that are getting added to the sports and the Olympics. In terms of training, if you're at the gym, what are you focusing on, Max? Like, what is it? Is it core? Is it legs? Like, I mean, like, what is the main focus of a skimo athlete when it comes to that level of training?
Yeah, in the gym, we have to train everything because we use our upper body with the poles. We need to be very fast for the sprint races. We need to be endurant for the longer races. We need strong legs for the downhills. We need good mobility for the technical tracks we can have. We need a good core to stay efficient on the skis and not move too much sideways. So my gym sessions last around 2 hours when I go there, and there's really a mix of everything, of plyometrics, of heavy squats, of splits, of deadlifts, even bench presses. And then some core training, some cardio, of course. So I never get bored when I'm in the gym.
I can imagine there's lots to work on. And I did read somewhere that skimo athletes are amongst, when it comes to like aerobic lung capacity, some of the strongest in the entire world of any sport, based on, I guess, I'm imagining that's the uphill section at the beginning. So what can you do to enhance that? Is that altitude training? Like, I mean, is there specialties that you're working with, physios or things like that? How do you increase that when it comes to your sport?
There's no miracle. You have to train a lot. Going up hills at different intensities. Of course, there are different tools like altitude trainings, or also heat trainings that can boost your blood flow. You have also genetics. Sadly, that limits some people. So, yeah, if you are unlucky, you are unlucky, and you cannot make a lot about it. But you can still enjoy going into the mountains. Maybe not being a top athlete, but sport is not only about competition; it's about passion. And what I encourage most other people is just do what they love, and spend more time outdoors if they can. And if you fell in love with an activity or a sport, you quickly will improve, and spend then even more time because you see yourself improving, and it's something exciting. So yeah, to to be performant in skimo, you have of course to train. There's no miracle, and specific trainings are the best.
It doesn't necessarily seem like a sport that, I mean, you're doing it because you love it, and you're not
Yeah, of
pushing
course.
yourself up a bloody mountain if you don't exactly love it. I can imagine it is a sport that when you get to the top of the mountain and you're getting to the downhill part, that is there just such a sense of relief? Because I'm struggling, Max, off the top of my head to think of a sport where you get halfway through it and you're just like, oh, thank God it's all downhill from here. Like, I mean, I can imagine that second part must be all right, let's go. That's the hard part's done. Let's get to this part now.
Yeah, many people do skimo to access inaccessible slopes with the ski lifts. So
Yeah, no ski
yeah,
passes, right? You're saving a lot of money on the lift passes going to a ski resort. I can
yeah,
imagine.
you save some money, of course. But yeah, the gear is quite expensive as well, so it compensates a bit. But yeah, thanks to skimo, you can reach downhills that maybe nobody skied before you that day. So you have fresh powder, fresh snow. So it's a really nice feeling. And then you feel sometimes also like an artist where you can design your own downhill. And yeah, of course, when you reach the summit, there's also always a kind of relief because yeah, you did the hard part, I would say, for most people, and and then you just have to go down and enjoy. And yet that's also what our sport is about, is reaching slopes that you cannot reach with the ski lifts.
And the views just look stunning. I mean, some of the footage you mentioned, your YouTube channel, which is fantastic, by the way. I was absolutely hooked to it in the lead up to this interview, just kind of watching everything there. But I mean, just absolutely stunning. I mean, how technical do the courses get? I mean, are the people who are designing these courses just having fun to really challenge you guys out there? And sort of, are there certain types of circuits that you prefer, courses over other ones that sort of maybe are out there?
Yes, you have a huge variety of races, of tracks. Our sport is also adapting to the environment. So because of the snow conditions, sometimes we cannot go at some places because of avalanche risks or lack of snow. So organizers need to adapt very often, have different plans. We are not on a track or in a swimming pool where we turn around or make make lines. Yeah, we have, based on the snow conditions, we can have really technical tracks where we climb up ridges with ropes, or steep uphills where we put our skis on our backpack and just walk up by pushing on our arms. And then sometimes, sadly, it's bad weather. We have to make ski loops. To make loops next to the ski slopes, or even sometimes on the ski slopes. And then also, with all these different tracks, we have to adapt our equipment. There's also big questions about waxing, about different which skimo skins we use, because there's not only one kind, there are many different kinds. So based on the snow conditions, we use one or the other. So we make tests, and then yes, there are some very technical races that are famous for that, like Pyramenta. I mentioned that race before. It's in the French Alps, which is you have big ridges where you have to I don't know what you call that in English, but you have a harness and need to attach yourself to a rope and change regularly. You have also some races where you need to attach yourself with your teammates. So there are some team races as well where you ski up and down attached one to each other.
So you're attached to your wow, that's incredible. Wow.
Yeah, we have there are a few races where we compete by teams of 3.
Wow.
And that are we race up to 4,200 meters of altitude. So on the glaciers high in the mountains. And because of the crevasses and all the risks of high altitude, we need to stay connected to each other. And so
I can imagine. I want to be connected to something that high up.
We ski with ropes between us.
Wow.
Yeah, or 10 meters distance. And we have to learn we have to learn how to ski synchronized because of the rope. It can cause crashes. And something really exciting.
So why aren't we seeing that? Like, come on, that just right now, that's box office. You talked about this sprint format being the TV friendly. Well, this is TV friendly. You're 4,000 meters up attached with the rope. Like that, that's some scary shit right there. That's TV gold.
Yeah, that's what we are fighting for. And we hope to see such races one day at the Olympics.
Yeah.
But the sprint race is there's more suspense, more action, more things happening. It's really exciting to watch as well, a sprint race. But yeah, of course, we don't have that experience of high altitude, of harsh environment that you can find on those races, because sometimes in high altitude we can feel temperatures of -25, -30 with heavy winds. Where just being outside is a is a big achievement, and we have to compete in such weather. So the sprint is very different to what we can have sometimes on other formats.
I'm just saying right now they've got my only thing that I'm seeing that is a challenge, Max, is how does a camera person film that? That's maybe where I'm thinking at. But I mean, look, Kirsty, she's the new president. She's got 5 years to sort this out for the French Alps, and then obviously Salt Lake 2034. It's America, right? They're all about TV and box office, so plenty of time to sort that out. Just touching on the sprint race, so I'm reading here the rules on the official website. So you can clarify these here and sort of maybe explain this if you like to. So it's saying here there are 3 stages in the ascent that you make. The first up on steps with skis attached to a backpack. Then No?
No, I will explain this. Yes,
please do. Thank you. The website's wrong. You clarify this for me, Max.
No, so first we have to say that the sprinters, we compete by elimination rounds.
Right.
So like in track and field where you have quarterfinals, semifinals, finals, we have the same in sprint racing. So the Olympics, we will start on the same track, competing at 6 athletes at the same time.
Because there's only 18 in total, isn't there? There's only 18 men, 18 women qualify for the games. Exactly. Yeah.
For the games, yes. On the World Cups, we are close to 100, but the games will be only 18 allowed to compete. So we compete at 6 at the same time on the track. We start by going uphill with skins under our skis. So we glide up the slope, and then after some 30-45 seconds, we have what we call the diamonds, kind of zigzags we have to do. So there's some strategy and placement. I go left, I go right, I cut, block the others or not. We have to stay fair, but there are some options. And then after these zigzags, we keep going up. We reach a first zone where we take off our skis from our feet and attach them on our backpack. It's something we do in 4 or 5 seconds, so it's really quick. And then we run up a set of stairs or steps made in the snow for 25-30 seconds. Then we reach a second zone where we put our skis back on our feet with still the skins under them. And then we keep going a little bit up. We reach a third zone where we take off our skins, also in 4 or 5 seconds, and then speed down through gates or some jumps or high curves with different options. And finally, generally, we have a small uphill that we do in skating mode, like in cross country, just to reach the finish line. And so that's the quarterfinals, racing at 6 together. And to access the semifinal, you need to be at the Olympics, we need to be in the top 3 to access the next round. plus 3 athletes that will be lucky losers. So if they have a good time, they can also access the semifinals despite not being in the top 3. And then in semifinal, it will be the top 2 of. So in semifinal, we race also 6 at the same time. The first 2 access the final, plus 2 lucky losers that will be chosen based on their times.
Wow.
And so this loop takes us between 2 minutes 45 and 3 minutes.
That's all. That's as quick as it is. Wow.
Yes.
Crazy.
We do 60 to 80 meters of elevation, all the transitions and downhill in that time. And what you have to know as well is that all these different runs take place in the same day in just 2-3 hours. So just recovery is really essential to compete and pass the next round.
That's insane. I can't even imagine how you recover from that. I mean, training, obviously, going back into what you're saying, but that's incredible. So are there, obviously with the different disciplines that you're talking about in the World Cup, World Championships, are there specific events that run it like the Olympics so that you can warm yourself up? Or is this purely completely new? You've never tried this format before?
No, we have sprint races on the World Cup circuit. So I think last winter, for example, I had 9 of these competitions, 9 sprint formats that also lead to a ranking which gave the quotas to all the nations for the Olympics. And thanks to good results, I already got a quota for Belgium. So for me, as I'm the only one.
You're there, basically. You know you're going.
Yes, exactly. And so, yeah, we are used to that format. We've been testing the Olympic track as well. So before every Olympic race, we have test events. So we raced in Bormio, where the ski mountaineering races will take place. We had the race in Bormio February last winter. So we've been racing on the track on something that should be quite similar to what we will have at the Olympics. So we know what to expect. And Bormio, I was there actually yesterday for a training camp. So I've been really. I'll say that. Yeah, I know the place quite well.
Getting used to it, basically. You're
yeah.
sniffing it out. What is it? Good, bad? Like, do you enjoy it? Kind of like give us an overview of what we can expect from the course.
We hope they will make some changes between the test event and what we will have at the Olympics, because some things were not perfect. But the track was really impressive. They made really high curves, which were really impressive. Sorry, it's a helicopter.
That's all right. Could have the paparazzi trying to scout you out there, Max, you know?
And yeah, it will be really impressive with all the fans and all the people around, because the World Cup circuit, I would say, doesn't attract big crowds as you may have in Tour de France or other sports. It's growing, but and also depends on the venues. But we hope to see many people at the Olympics, and I will have many friends and family coming to watch me and live that amazing moment and the end of the beautiful journey with me.
You sort of touched on a question I was going to ask about the fans, because as an Australian, I think any type of skiing, I just think of rabid European fans, cowbells, and all the kind of the joys about that. I mean, is there a standard Skimo fan for the rabid fans that do travel to World Cups, World Championships? Should we look out for a certain type of tradition or culture around ski mountaineering that you won't see in any other type of skiing at all?
No, not really. Skimo fans are also, I would say, have their hobbies. Have their mountain they train on, have their valleys, and don't move too far to ski somewhere else. It's not like in cycling where you like to do all the big passes around the Alps and not mind to travel. In ski mountaineering, we have that really environmental friendly culture, I would say, where you don't use ski lifts, don't train by yourself, care about the environment. So that's something nice, but that's also prevents people to travel to remote places to see a race.
Basically, they're dedicated fans, essentially. They're traveling. They're going with it. They're not only maybe they're just family or friends, but they love the sport enough that they're making that effort to get there, right?
Yeah, I think the dedicated fans, they would send you a lot of messages, support you on your social medias. They will not travel every time, except if it's close or not too far from where they are. Because traveling in winter in the Alps is not the easiest thing. You have to make big detours to avoid closed mountain passes, or put your car on trains to go under the mountains in tunnels. So it's not easy to reach the races all the time, because also we compete in remote environments, not always very close to ski resorts. Most of the time, yes, but it's not always easy to access.
One thing I will say, though, is the promotion of the sport. So in the research for this interview, Max, just like going on the social media pages for the sport and seeing everything along those lines, one of the best like hype up videos I think I've ever seen for a sport. Like it's like this 90-second video on the official YouTube channel. It's like, do you like this? It's ski mountaineer. And like it's just got that real like bearing voice on it. And I'm just like, wow, yeah, if you don't know this sport, watch that video. 90 seconds is all it takes, and it gets you into it. So the federation is doing a good job at trying to hype the sport up, I feel, ahead of Milan next year.
But yes, send me the link.
I will.
I'm not sure I know which video you're talking about.
I will definitely send it to you, because it definitely got me hyped up for it. I mean, looking at your form, though, Max, going into the Olympics, so you're there. Actually, just touching on that, you've got the quota for Belgium, and as we often know, just because you get a quota doesn't mean you're going to get picked. But if you're the only athlete from your country, I think you'd be pretty shitty if they didn't pick you. So you're basically 99.9999% going to the Olympics, are you not?
Yes. Yeah, I would even say 100%.
100%, right. Say 100%, right, good. I just, unless all of a sudden an enigma from Belgium comes up between now and February, you are on that plane. But your last season, so obviously we're recording this in July in 2025, so out of season for you. But the previous season, number 6 ranked in the world, 2 overall in the World Cup. Of the 21 races you're in, 17 of them you finished in the top 10. World Championship medal. I mean, the form that you're in right now, heading into the next season that obviously leads into the Olympics, I mean, are you peaking at the right time? This is all looking very good for you, Max. You said before, you're not just going to the Olympics to get a lanyard and a nice, pretty uniform. You're going there to win a medal, aren't you?
I am. That's the dream, of course. I would say my last 3 winter seasons were absolutely amazing. I finished the 3 times second of the overall World Cup, so it's a ranking in which all the races of the winter count. So whatever discipline, you score points, and it leads to a ranking. And this is the most important ranking, I would say, in the winter. And then of course you have events like the World Championships or European Championships, where the level is very high and where just you have to perform that precise day and get the medal. And the last 3 years were absolutely amazing. I got podiums in all the disciplines, so in sprints, in verticals, in individuals. So I'm really now one of, I would say, the most complete athletes. There's also Thibaut Anselmet, a French athlete who won the last 3 overall World Cups. So he's still ahead of me, but both of us are able to get podiums in all the disciplines. So in 3 minutes races up to 1 hour and a half races, we are able to be on in the best in the best places. I got some podiums in the sprint, which is the Olympic format. So that's quite exciting to see that I am able to fight with the pure specialists, because there are now some athletes only focusing on the sprint and the mixed relay, the second Olympic discipline. So there will be 2 skimo events at the Olympics, the sprint and the mixed relay. But as I don't have a female partner to team with, I will only focus on the sprint. But now you really have some athletes focusing on the sprint and the mixed relay to go to the Olympics, and while still being on all the races, I managed to compete with them. So that's something I still take a lot of pride in.
I think that if there is a female athlete from a country that doesn't have a male athlete, let's, like you said, male, female, Australian, sure, but hypothetically, there's a female Australian athlete and there's not a male Australian athlete, I think the IOC should bring back the old mixed, Olympic committees. They used to do it way back, and they do it in the Youth Olympics. So why then can't you team up with a Australian female, a New Zealand female, somebody from a country that doesn't have a male athlete. That should be fair, right? Why can't we do that?
Yeah, you will have countries that have full national teams complaining, and
Let them complain. Why not?
And how would you count the medals? Because there's a medal table and
chop them in half. Just
chop in half.
Just have mixed NOCs on the table. They've done that back in. They do it in the Youth Olympics, right? Actually, just you touch on sort of other nations and sort of who's good. I mean, obviously, I'm seeing a lot of French athletes, Italian athletes. Countries that are strong in it. Is there a rivalry like in Australia? We're big rivals with New Zealand. They're they're not far away from us. They're like brotherly rivals, right? Is there a big Belgian-French rivalry? Is France your biggest rival, or is there another country that Belgians just get a little bit more excited about when you beat someone from that country?
I love when I beat athletes from the big countries. So the big skimo countries are France, Switzerland, Spain, and Italy. So when I in front of their world team, so I'm really happy. But as I am the only one from Belgium, I would not say I can compete against France or Switzerland that have more than 20, 25 athletes at the start of every race. But when I'm able to beat all of them, I'm quite proud of it. But
that's a pretty good track. If you're 1 versus 20 and you come ahead of them, you're puffing the chest out a little bit. You're like, all right, come on, France.
But there's not a big rivalry between Belgium and France like you would have maybe between Australia and New Zealand, or I don't know.
We can start one up. We can fuel the flames maybe between it. It was actually interesting. I love it when we get athletes on the show. We've had athletes from Belgium on before, but I always love it sort of when maybe it's a country that we haven't had a lot of athletes from the show, particularly from a winter athlete perspective. So looking at the history of Belgium at the Winter Olympics, back in Beijing, 74-year gold medal drought broken by the great Bart Swings. Love Bart Swings, winning gold, obviously, in Beijing. But Belgium never have won a skiing medal at the Winter Olympics. All of Belgium's winter medals have come in skating or sliding sports. So does that add, let's fast forward to February, Max, and you've got that medal around your neck because we know what's going to happen. But not only are you creating history as the first ever gold medalist in ski mountaineering in Olympic history, but your country's first ever skiing medalist in the over 100-year history of the Winter Olympics. I mean, that adds a little bit more weight to that gold medal win in February, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can feel the pressure now.
Good. That's what we're wanting to, but it's good pressure, right? Because, it's sort of like it's adding that extra level to it because we know it's going to happen. We know you're going to have that gold medal around your neck in what, 7 months' time, essentially?
Yeah, something like that. I think before Bart Swing, there was never a gold medal for Belgium at the Winter Olympics, so I wanted to be the first one. But Bart beat me to it. So yeah, I hope I will get I'm training to get a medal at the Olympics, and that's the dream and the goal, absolutely.
I know it's a completely different sport, completely different discipline, but is Bart Swings just like an icon in Belgium? Did he get street parades? Is he getting buildings named? I mean, even off the podium, we're Australian. We love Bart Swings. We were talking about him all the time back in Beijing. We love him. So, I mean, I can imagine he's a big deal in Belgium.
Yeah, it's a big deal in Belgium. I think he got the sports award of best athlete in Belgium when he won the medal, and that's I think the last years was Remco Evenepoel getting it. So you have to really be a big athlete and perform really well to get it. And in Belgium, when you achieve something exceptional, you are invited to have a big party on the Grand Place of Brussels. So there's a big square with a balcony, and the athletes stand on the balcony, and you have the big crowds, many people underneath you and applauding you and celebrating that medal for you. And that's something I would love to live one day.
I'm just picturing you. I'm picturing you on that balcony right now. It's going to happen. Do you get? I mean, I don't know if you know the answer to this question, Max. You might not, but in Australia, if you win an Olympic gold medal, doesn't matter whether it's winter or summer, you get to be on a stamp. The next morning, you can go to your post office and your face is on a stamp, and that's forever etched in history. Is there like an
Okay.
honor in Belgium that you know of, that if you win a gold medal, like I know some countries you get a house if you win a gold medal. Like, is there anything in Belgium that you get for an Olympic gold medal?
You get some money, but I think that's the case for most of the countries.
Still not bad.
Sometimes
We can always use money, don't we? You know.
generally you also, yes, not all the time, but you can have a meeting with the king and the queen of Belgium.
Hey, that's all right.
That's all right.
I mean, if you're a
And,
big royal fan, how do I get a meeting with the king? I'll just win an Olympic gold medal. Why not?
Yeah, easy. Easy. I don't see anything else, but yeah, you don't. I don't think you don't fight for a medal hoping to get one of these awards.
I don't know.
You're
I don't know. I
fighting
tell you what, I wouldn't mind being on a stamp, Max. That's incentive for me to go to an Olympics, to be on a
You
stamp.
can make your stamps yourself, no? You cannot.
Yeah, but it's
make,
not the same,
personalized
right?
stamps?
Not the same. You achieved that. Come on, that's like ultimate glory on a stamp. I think in the UK you get like a letterbox. I think forever named after you in your hometown. I think is what you get. But this is a new goal we're going to have on this show, Max. Is find out what the most obscure thing an Olympic gold medalist gets in all the countries around the world. Right? Like, there's got to be some weird stuff out there. So
Yeah, you have some weird stuff. I read something for Paris. I think you have free dental care or something like that in some countries.
hey, that's probably a big deal in some countries, right? Like, I mean, obviously countries like America where they just win everything, they probably, don't get a lot. But, we had somebody from the Philippines recently, and in Paris, I think they had 2 gold medals, which was like double the amount they'd won in the entire history of the Olympics. So I can imagine that, they're having, parts of the country named after them probably. Every second child has been like, just national icons essentially. So I'm sure the ratio of children being called Bart in Belgium increased after Beijing. I'm sure that name after the 90s and The Simpsons probably increased in Belgium after 2022.
Maybe.
I've never met a Bart in person before, honestly, Max. So maybe I need to go to Antwerp or Brussels, and perhaps I'll meet a few of them. We're going to get to some fun get to know you questions in just a moment, but just 2 things I want to touch on. First of all, as I said, we're recording this in July. It's still obviously around 7 or so months before the Olympics. So what's on the agenda for you now? As in, are you fully training? When does the next season start? Like, kind of what do the next few months look like for you before we hit those slopes in Italy in February next year?
In summer, I am a trail runner, so I love to compete on trail running races. In 2 weeks, I will have a very high level and famous race in Switzerland called the Sierzinal. It's 31 Ks and 2,200 meters of elevation.
Wow.
So all the best athletes are coming there. It's actually just in front of me, in front of my home. So I know the race very well, and I want
just
to perform
staring at it
there
every day. Wake up, I'm running that in a couple of weeks. Sure, why not?
And so that's in 2 weeks. And after that race, we'll still do another race, and then my focus will really be solely on the winter season. So I've already been skiing some days this summer on high altitude glaciers. And then starting from October, I will ski almost every week to get ready for the start of the season. The first race will take place beginning of December in Solitude in the US near Salt Lake City. So that will be an important race to launch the season well. And then normally in December I can ski everywhere in the Alps. So I will move where the snow conditions are the best, and then January is a big month in skimo where you have many races. I think I will have 5 or 6 races in January.
Wow.
And then I will have 2 or 3 weeks to rest and to get really ready for the Olympics. That for me are the races the 19th of February, so at the end of the second week of the Winter Olympics.
And do you sort of look at things like the opening ceremony as a possibility, or is it it's too focused on training and getting yourself ready that's just a distraction and you sort of won't worry about that?
Yeah, it's not easy to find a good balance between really focusing on your race and wanting to enjoy the Olympic experience. I As my race is at the end of the Olympics, I could say, okay, I stay at home till my race and just travel to Bormio 2 or 3 days before my race. But as I don't live too far from Milano, where the opening ceremony will take place, I want to go to the opening ceremony and then go back home, and then I can only access the accommodation in Bormio 3 days before my race, because we are swapping with the alpine skiers, the male alpine skiers that are also competing in Bormio on the same slope. So when they finish their races, we start ours, and so I will go to the opening ceremony, then go 10 days back home, then travel to Bormio, arrive there 2-3 days before my race, compete at my race, and then stay in Bormio till the closing ceremony in Verona. And so normally I will be at the opening ceremony and the closing ceremony and still be able to focus on my races. Because sometimes when elite athletes, we don't like to see too many people before important races, because there's always that fear of getting sick, of getting a virus, or just drinking alcohol. No, I'm joking. But yeah, there's always that fear of getting sick at the wrong time. So I will stay in my bubble, I think, between the opening ceremony and my race.
It's pretty exciting, though, to be able to get to experience that, right? Because obviously, I guess the uniqueness of what we're going to see at the Olympics next year is how spread out they are. Obviously, we know the closing ceremony and the opening ceremony are completely different parts of the country. So, there's that aspect of it too. But it's great to be able to hear that so many athletes who are competing so close to the end will, just be in such in competitive mode that is not something they even think about. But given that you live not far away, I mean, let's add it to the bucket list, because I know you're going to be at multiple Olympics after this one, Max, but I mean, still, it's your first, right? You got to experience it straight away.
Yeah, of course.
Got to
I'm
do
really
that.
excited.
And also excited that, does that mean then if you're not far from where the opening ceremony will be there in Milan and you get to go back home, does that mean you get to spend more time with your dogs? Because you talk about your social media presence. Is it Emmy and Naya, your two dogs? Tell us about these two. They're cute little things. I want to know more about them. And I can imagine you just never want to leave their side.
Yeah, we have two dogs in the family. Now it's my dad taking care of them, because I have to leave this afternoon for to go to Annecy, join my girlfriend. But I have two dogs and I love to train with them. When I take only one, the other one is jealous. So what I do often is if I have a 1 hour run to do, I run 30 minutes with one dog and then 30 minutes with the other. So both of them are happy. And when I'm not playing or running with them, they love to hunt lizards.
Wow.
Or marmots or squirrels, what we can find around the house. They don't really care about deers or chamois or ibexes, because they see too many. But they love the small furtive hiding animals.
Do they go after stoats? Because I know that's the mascot of the Olympics next year. So I hope they're not killing off all the stoats ahead of the the mascots for Milan.
Maybe I will bring one for them.
Yeah, this is a fake one. Don't go after the real one. There you go. That works. I mean, your social media presence though is great. Like your YouTube channel, very informative, and then everything that you post on like Instagram and everything is that too. I mean, do you find that sort of fun to be able to sort of show just what you're up to, and I guess also too like educating people on skimo, because it really is something like myself who's here interviewing you right now, of course, Max. But I mean, to research for this, it really does give me a lot of information to learn about you and your sport.
Yeah, for me, I would start by saying, last year I really tried to identify why I was loving my sport. So I identified 3 pillars at the core of my passion, I would say. First, there's the competitive aspect. I want to perform in what I do. I want to feel good. I want to master everything there is to know about my sport. The second thing is discovering. What my sport allows me to do is to discover new mountains, new trails, new emotions, new valleys, new countries. I love discovering new parts of the world. And the third part, related to what you said, I love to share my passion with others. So it can be through this podcast, through social media, through conferences I do, to through training camps organized to coaching I give. And so, yeah, social media and YouTube are good ways to get people loving your sport and knowing you and willing to experience what you live.
It works. It definitely works. And the more dogs, the merrier, I will say too, right? Because everybody goes crazy for dogs along the way. You mentioned going to new countries. I'm a bit sad that Australia's probably a bit like Belgium, right? We're a bit flat. You mentioned doing 4,000 meter elevations. I think our tallest mountain here is only about 2,500 meters. So we're a little bit low on that level. But I don't know if Skimo will take you to Australia. But I mean, you know, Brisbane 2032 is technically a Winter Olympics in Australia. So I don't know, we can entice you down here and you keep the running up. Maybe we can get you sort of in the marathon in Brisbane or something for 2032, perhaps.
maybe one day I will come to Australia and New Zealand. That
New Zealand's got more mountains. They're good. So yeah, they've got
part
some.
of the world.
Yeah,
I know many alpine skiers train in New Zealand in the summer to get ready for the winter. We don't really have that culture yet, or we don't really have that culture to travel to the southern hemisphere to train in summer for our winter season. But there are some athletes who are doing it. Not a lot. It's just to experience and to discover the country in addition to do some skiing. But maybe one day we will arrive to that point. But I love to run in the summer, so if I don't see my skis for some months, I'm happy.
I think that we do find a lot of winter athletes often dream of the sun, right? So, you know, if you ever take that your winter off, it's beautifully hot down here in December. So, you know, more than welcome to see that. Max, we always close off our interviews with a set of fun, get to know you style questions. These are completely standardized now. Every guest gets the same set of 10 questions now. They used to be different, but we've kept them the same. So I'm going to start off with the first question, and that is, what is one thing that you never leave home without when traveling to a competition?
My pillow.
Your pillow? Oh, okay. Is this like a special, like, lucky pillow, or is it just sort of help you out, I guess, when it comes to resting after all those grueling events?
Yeah, I like to have a pillow when I'm in the car, when my coach or my staff is driving and I'm behind. I'm in the back seat and try to put your jacket, but it falls off, and with a pillow, it's more comfortable. And then also sometimes for the sprint races, we don't need any gear except a backpack and our skis and boots, but there's nothing inside our backpack. And that's something not very comfortable. So for sometimes I was putting my pillow inside my racing backpack and racing with my backpack for the sprint races. So
with the pillow during the actual race?
Yes, in the backpack. So when we put our skis on the back and we run up the stairs or the footsteps, my skis are not hurting my back, and so I was putting my pillow inside my backpack to avoid this pain. And yeah, also sometimes when you go to hotels, you don't have the same hardness or the same size of pillow you have at home, and it bothers you. So,
that is very true. That is
traveling with my pillow, I'm more sure I will sleep well.
I like that. That's the first time I've ever had a pillow answer for that question, but it makes complete sense. That's very clever. I like that. Do you have a tradition or superstition that you follow before any competition? Sounds like the pillow might be that tradition going in the backpack. Going to be there ready to go.
Yeah, I don't really have a tradition or something I absolutely need to do before a race. I have a routine that I apply to every race, but yeah, I don't see.
What's the routine? Give us a routine. Is this like, you got to put a shoe on a left foot first, or you got to clip something on the right? Is that sort of what you mean, or is there a difference to that?
No, I just timetables I like to follow. So I wake up 3 hours and a half before my race. I go for easy walk and easy run before breakfast, 3 hours before my race. Then if I have time, I just lay in bed for half an hour and then get ready, gear up, prepare my backpack, and all my race gear is generally prepared the day before. And then also my warm up is quite planned. I do some easy endurance and some high intensity sprints, then some mobility and coordination exercises. then again some sprints, and then I'm ready to go on the start line. But
That's
yeah,
that's kind of like, I mean, that counts for that question, I think. Just on the backpack, like, is this regulated? Like, I mean, when it comes to you lining up at the Olympics next year, is this going to be like, oh, you can't have this, you can't have it? It has to be like, how regulated is something is like a backpack in your sport?
The only thing we need about that backpack is 2 attach points. So to fix our skis on the backpack, except than that, we can do whatever we want. So I've been developing with one of my partners, my sponsors, a backpack for the Olympics. And yeah, we don't need anything inside. So the size of the backpack doesn't really matter. We just need 2 attach points to fix the skis on the back.
Okay, so it's not like one of these things where it's like, I'm not saying that adding 10 bricks to your backpack is probably not going to help you, but like, it's not to the point where like, oh, what's in your backpack? No, this is going to make you go faster. You know, you're disqualified.
But for other races, we need a shovel, a probe, a blanket, a whistle. It's called a beacon. In case you are under an avalanche, they can find you. We have what else in our backpack? Yeah, light jackets and light upper pants. And then for the sprint we don't need anything because it's on the ski slope. It's really safe environment. But and then also our skis and boots are very regulated in terms of weight and some design. So our skis with bindings must weigh more than 780 grams. Our boots with the liners inside more than 500 grams. So our skis are often checked before the races to see they are above that weight limit.
Very light skis.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, alpine skis are 3-4 kilos. So because we need to go up with the skis. So the less weight, the better.
Yeah.
But then there's also downhill where we need to feel safe and be efficient. So it's a good balance that they are trying to find. And Skimo competition skis are really impressive. You quickly get used to it. Of course, in the uphill, it's very light, so you don't feel them. And in downhill, you still can enjoy the snow and the slope.
Because it's the skin section of it. I watched a video of it where they were explaining how grippy they obviously have to be going up the mountains. So are they regulated as well? Like, is there a certain type of adhesive that you can use on the grip points on the skis?
About the skins, what you must know is that originally it was made of seal skin.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, now it's prohibited. But the skin of a seal is really allows you to glide on the snow and prevents you from gliding back.
Wow.
The hair is really oriented, let's say in that way. So you can go up, but it sticks when you
go.
It prevents you from going backwards.
Basically, you're not sliding, like you're not constantly going like like going backwards.
Exactly. And then there's different type of skins, different width, different length, different type of hair. And then we also wax our skins to increase the glide and make them also waterproof.
Mm-hmm.
It can also impact the skin. And it's getting more and more scientific, all this equipment preparing part.
And I can imagine all the seals are very happy that has been outlawed, that no longer their skin is just being attached to skis, essentially, going up. Incredible. It goes back to that question about this sport's quite new. Well, obviously, if they're being using, skin off seals, it's obviously not that new, Ben. What's a song that is on every one of your pre-competition playlists, no matter what?
It's Eye of the Tiger.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Good song. The dun, 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 dun. That's really getting you pumped up. Going up there. Do you listen? Is it sort of something that, going back to you, sort of having that routine, that part where you're maybe laying in bed, is there a bit of a chance to put on the headphones and kind of chill? Is that important for your routine to listen to music?
No, listening to music is not very important. I only listen to music when I'm not feeling very motivated or I don't feel in a good shape and I'm not sure I will perform at my best. That's only when I listen to music, and I listen to Music's like I Have the Tiger to pump me up. But yeah, that's it. I don't listen a lot of music when I do sport. When I'm cooking or when I'm driving, I listen to music all the time. But yeah, I like to hear what's around me and uh, and yeah, be in the moment.
Actually, I liked on your vlog that you did for the World Championships this year. I don't know who was like filming and sort of, also vlogging with you, but the videos of him like handing you the water bottles and he was like, oh yeah, this is how far you're off second, keep going, do this, do that. Like that was really interesting to kind of see like, is that your coach? Like, is that who is that who's sort of doing that with you?
Yeah, as one of my coaches is the coach that travels with me on all the World Cups. Helps me prepare my equipment, check the courses, go to the briefings, with whom I discuss strategy. Yeah, he helps me for everything. Is amazing as a Spanish coach, and yeah, will join me again next winter and come with me at the Olympics. So
Fantastic.
It's really important for me to
give him a plug. Who is he? Who is he? Give us his name. Tell us a bit more about him.
His called is Pablo Ruiz de Almiron Lanz. It comes from the southern part of Spain, from the Sierra Nevada mountain range. So even if it's close to the Mediterranean Sea, there are high mountains there, up to 3,000 and something. So he's born in the mountains, and he did some sports psychology university courses, some degrees, and for some time also competed on skimo races. So he knows the sport really well. And yeah, last winter he was based in Chamonix in
Great.
France, where he was living in his camper van.
Wow.
He spent all the time in his camper van when he was not traveling with me, and he's really really passionate about what he's doing. He loves to share his passion as well. He also has a YouTube channel in Spanish.
Fantastic.
Where he's really doing amazing job. He has a big community. He's really well known for sharing well his passion and skimo tips.
You can tell in the videos, you can tell like sort of as he's vlogging kind of alongside of you, just kind of like, yeah, that passion as well. Like it's fantastic. And it's just going back to my point about sort of helping educate and grow it out there. It really works. Like it's very helpful, not just for people like myself, but I'm sure people are doing it. It's entertaining, Max. That's what you want, right? To entertain and educational. We one day might be entertaining on this show, but at least today we can be educational when learning about skimo. So we can learn that along the way. What is the most unexpected or funny direct message that you've ever gotten as an athlete?
How to say that in a funny way? To be the birthday present of someone.
To be how does that work? Like, can I wrap you up and give you like? I don't understand how they think that might be a thing.
This evening, actually, a mother of a young runner asked me to run with her child for his birthday.
Right. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. I'm not seeing the bows and the cards and everything, but still, like, if there were, can you be my son's birthday present? Wow.
It was not written like that, but yeah, that's what I am. So yeah, this afternoon I will run with.
So you said yes, you're doing it. You do. Oh, fantastic! Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. Happy birthday to them. Great. Oh, I like that. You might be the first to answer that question and saying that. Yeah, I actually said yes to the message I got. So you have to let us know how that goes, Mac. That sounds very exciting.
Yeah. I prepared that question because I saw it on some reels you posted on Instagram. If I have that question, I know
prepared.
What to answer.
You thought about that one. There you go.
Not as well.
There you go.
Not as well prepared as you, but.
So this is in the future. We are looking at doing like a montage of all of these together. So you've preempted our future guests even being more prepared, Max. So there you go. I like that. The weirdest thing that you've ever eaten at an international competition, and did you like it?
Yeah, I was in Thailand two years ago for mountain running world championships. I was on a big market, and with another athlete, we were looking for fried scorpions.
Oh.
I didn't
Okay.
find any, but I found some beetles.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's what it was. And yeah, some fried beetles I ate in Thailand. Really, really big. So it was not really tasty, but
It's an
I love
experience, all right. You're eating a fried beetle. You're not getting that from your local supermarket.
No, absolutely not. You can find some insects, but maybe not those big.
Not that
Those,
size that they have in those parts. It's just it reminds you of like Survivor when they'd have those food eating challenges, right? And they were eating like there was a season of Survivor where they ate scorpions, and I remember the one that always like I was like I would eat anything. Like give me like I'm winning it for my tribe. I'll give it a go. But there was one of the seasons they ate tarantulas, and as an Australian, you know I hate spiders. They're giant here, but I would never eat one. So yeah. Beetle maybe, but spider, I don't know. How'd you go eating a spider, do you think? Would you give it a try?
don't think so. Don't think
Yeah.
so. At least not before a race,
Yeah.
because yeah, before the race it's yeah, rice, chicken, and it don't change much. But yeah, after the race, if I have some time to rest before the following one, I like to taste a new food. And it was funny last year we had a race in Azerbaijan,
Mm.
and I booked yeah 2 extra days to visit some place or do long tour in the mountains after the races. And so the first days of our stay there during the races, I was asking Pablo, my coach, to test as much food as possible and to remember what was good and what was not. So when it was my time to test new food, I would I would know what I have to try.
It's got like
So it's my
the tasters, right? From like
well.
the, you know, like Vladimir Putin's got to taste it and make sure something's not poisonous, right? You taste this
Yeah.
to make sure that it's good. So that
Exactly.
that's smart. I like kind of having that. That's
Yeah,
a
Pablo does everything.
clever Pablo. He literally does everything. I like that. I mean, on the food level of things, sort of while we're on that topic, do you after competition do you have like what's the guilty pleasure food that you always have to chow down on as soon as you finish the competition?
As I am Belgian, I would say it's fries.
Oh yes,
It's,
good
yeah,
answer.
compulsory. But generally, after the race, your body tells you what you need, what it wants.
Yep.
So it can just be a large pizza or fries or yeah. Generally, your body tells you what you need.
What is the secret to a good Belgian fry? Like, I mean, like I as an Australian, we do fries, they're fine. But like, I mean, I not the same country, I realize that. But when I was in Amsterdam, I had some very good fries, and I know they're renowned for fries, but not on Belgian level of fries. So what is the secret to a really good Belgian fry?
They must be crispy.
Yeah, okay.
In some countries, the fries are not crispy at all and just potatoes. But yeah, in Belgium, they must be really, really crispy. And most of the time, they're also quite um, not huge, but quite thin.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, but yeah, they must be crispy.
Good to know. I went back to my home city of Hobart recently, and they'd opened up a little place there, and it was, you know, Belgian fries. I never got to try it, but I always sometimes get skeptical when you have these places, right, who are like, oh, this is, you know, this style of something, and they never live up to the thing. I don't know if you've ever been to Canada and had poutine. That is like my favorite food, and you can never obviously get it as good as you can in like Montreal or places like that. So whenever I see it advertised here, I just scoff at it. So I'm sure you're probably the same if you came to Australia and saw Belgian fries. You're like, yeah, nah, that's not going to be good.
In Belgium, they do fries at double cooking.
Okay.
So they put it in two different oils, and I know one is beef fat.
Right.
So,
Okay. That's I think that's what they used to use back in the day in like McDonald's fries, but then they changed it. So, you know, but like that's the secret. You need to keep using the beef stuff. Okay. Good to know. This is educational. I said, Mac, educational podcast. We're learning here on this show. If you could swap sports for a day with another Olympian, what event would you choose, and how do you think you'd fare?
oh,
You weren't prepared for this one, were you? See, now I'm getting you to think.
I think an alpine skier
Okay.
downhill. So yeah, in the discipline, the downhill discipline, because they reach extreme speeds,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to feel that adrenaline of going down 140 kilometers per hour down the slopes.
And you don't have to climb up beforehand too. So you just like,
I don't have to climb it, and I would not use the same skis I'm using. And also maybe another sport would be if I stay in the winter sports, jumping, ski jumping.
Yes,
it's crazy how they fly for almost 200 meters up in the air.
Yep.
Their positioning, it's really impressive, and I would be so afraid being so high in the air with just my skis under my feet to land on a hard slope.
You want to hope to land, of course. You know, that's good. Yeah, I mean, incredible. This is the beauty of the Winter Olympics and why I love them more than the Summer Olympics, is that every sport, basically, besides curling, can kill you. And it's just dangerous and extreme to watch. Like, I am the biggest wimp on the planet, Max. I tried skiing once. I lasted 30 seconds and I went back to the chalet and had a hot cocoa. So that was my journey in winter sports. But as a spectator, I'm going to love watching that. I love everything. So this is why I'm saying, back to your point about bringing all the disciplines of skimo in. I want to see in the French Alps you climbing on that mountain with the 3 people attached to you on a rope. Like, that's crazy. You know, I'm not doing it. I'll let you guys do it. You're the professionals. That's where it's entertaining. Now, this is the one where I like because we get some help from ChatGPT if you can't come up with anything. If your Olympic journey were a movie, what would the title be and who do you think would play you?
You already have a movie called Mad Max, no?
There is a movie called but that is a good movie title, though. That could work.
Yeah. And who would play me?
I'm trying to picture, like, I'm seeing, like, I don't know if you're overly familiar with Dave Franco. Like, you've got a bit of a Dave Franco look about you if you know who that is. So if you know who James Franco is, it's his brother.
I'm not good at remembering name of the actors. I know their fake name when they play, but I don't remember
I'll have to send you a photo. So I think he's best known for, if you ever watched the movie The Disaster Artist, which was based on, it was a fictional retelling of the movie The Room. It's a very good movie, but I'll send you a photo because I think you got a bit of Dave Franco about you. So,
but one of my favorite actors is Louis de Funès.
Okay,
a French. He's passed away now, but he made some really famous movies in French.
Okay, well I'll look him up as well at the same time. I entered into ChatGPT. I simply said, give me a movie poster based on your life. Now, this was before the Mad Max title, but I'm going to hold this up, and people who are listening to it on the audio, check out our video version to see this. They've simply gone with Max, the inspiring true story of Maximilien Drion. And I don't know if the resemblance is really there, but I don't know if you can see that. That's not too bad, though. Good poster, right?
It's funny.
Yeah. Like, there you go. You can put that up on the wall and, promote yourself and the sport. That's not too bad. So, thanks, ChatGPT. They've given other titles here. They've just said Vertical, Above the Line, Max, Beyond the Summit, Skimo, not really original, but they've gone with it, Chasing Altitude, No Ordinary Peak, Cold Heart, Strong Legs. That's all right. Sounds like an album title, I think, maybe if you're dropping some tunes there potentially. But Mad Max, that wins. That's a simple one, but I like it. It works out very well. 2 more to go here. What is the one question that you are tired of being asked, and what is the one that you wish people would ask you instead? And I really hope I haven't asked you a question that you're sick of being asked today.
What is chemo?
Probably the most basic one, right?
It's people know skimo, they know ski touring, they know long tours in the mountains, but they don't know the competitive side of that sport. And so I always have to explain it. I enjoy explaining it, but I would I would love it even more if people knew the sport I am doing better. But yes, also the reason I'm doing this YouTube channel is to educate people on my sport.
The good news is next time you're on this show, we don't have to ask you those questions. So that's all. It's over and done with now.
And then, I love when people ask me specific questions about my sport or the equipment I use or how I prepare my equipment. It means they really are interested in what I do and how I prepare for it. So about the type of skis, the skins I use, how I train. I love more specific questions.
Is just on that, this isn't me trying to cheat and basically ask you the questions you like being asked, but are there many manufacturers, like specific skimo skin manufacturers and ski manufacturers, or is it mainly like the big ski companies just have a section where they produce those as well?
Yeah, you have a bit of both. You have some brands that only have maybe only one brand that produces only one, only skimo skins. The brand that supports me actually. And then you have some alpine skiing brands that also produce skimo skins. So I think you have in total 12 or 15 brands producing skimo skis. And then about skins, you have, let's say, 5 brands, so less brands, and 2 of them are almost having 75% of the market. And yeah, that's it.
And do you generally, like, you have a preferred one? Do you alternate, like, or is it like a sponsorship reason, or like a bit of everything really? Like, you can sort of change up when you want to.
Yeah, it's for sponsorship reasons. I use only one brand, and I'm also very much involved with these partners to develop the best products possible. So I love to spend time testing different stuff.
Plug the sponsor. You can give them a plug too if you want to, Max. Shout them out. Who are they?
The skis are Ski Trab. It's a brand based in Bormio in Italy.
Brilliant.
Where we'll compete at the Olympics. So it's really nice to have a sponsor really based from there.
They know their stuff, I'm assuming, then, if that's where the Olympics are. So there you go.
And then the skins is Pomoca. It's also a Swiss brand. Ski Trab is Italian, but Pomoca is a Swiss. And they are really maybe the first skimo skins brand because of the entry of their factory. There's all the history of the evolution of their skins, and the first one are made of seal. So so that must be it.
Fantastic. Good. I mean, we're always here to let you plug the sponsors and everything along the lines too. So make sure that they always get the shout out there. Last one for you today, Max, and we always ended it with the deep question. What is one lesson that you have learnt more from losing that you think has shaped you more than winning?
I never lose. No, I'm joking.
Stop right there. That's the question. That you win. You win right now. You win that question.
No, yeah. The most important thing is never forget why you do your sport, because you love it, because I love it. So yeah, sometimes in the past I've been focusing too much on achieving the results, on getting everything right, and I was sometimes forgetting what my 3 pillars are. So competition, discovering, and sharing my passion. And I was focusing too much on one of those pillars, and that was leading me to, I would say, a burnout or a really down moment. And so yeah, always having these 3 pillars in mind is what I live by now.
I love that. I love it when you got that to strive towards, and it's helping you out, and obviously taking on this very big journey of yours, Max, and one that's obviously about to get very, very bigger in the coming months. And we've mentioned your YouTube channel, we've mentioned your social media. Give them all a plug right now, so people listening, watching, they want to stay up to date with everything between now and Milan and beyond. Where can they follow you?
Yeah, they can follow me on Instagram, Facebook. I still use Facebook, and YouTube. Of course, I will keep posting videos. I have one coming this week.
Great.
About one of the races I had this winter in Valmartello, a really remote place at the end of a valley where the landscape is absolutely beautiful. And so that's the next video coming up.
Fantastic. And TikTok? Are you on TikTok as well, or not quite on the TikTok?
No TikTok, no Snapchat, no.
Okay.
I have enough on my plate.
Stick to the other ones. They're fine. Who needs TikTok? Instagram's that's the main one I use anyway. So that's all that matters. So that works out. Max, mate, it's such an honor to chat with you and learn about you and the sport and everything else. We're so excited to not only see skimo at the Olympics next year, but yourself and going out there and getting that nice, shiny, historic gold medal for you and your country, and just going out there and showing the world and making your name known even more. But we appreciate your time on the show today. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you a lot for inviting me, and I hope we'll have the opportunity to meet in Milano Cortina if you come.
I'm not actually making it to Skimo, so I will be there. But opening ceremony, I'm actually there. So I tell you what, if you're not too busy with the whole walking out to the stadium thing, then maybe we'll catch up and say good day at some point when that happens around then. How does that sound?
Perfect.